Today have prepared you a collection of rare historical photos that you probably won't find your history textbook. From the statue of David covered with a brick dome to the amount of handwritten code that was produced for the Apollo project. Enjoy! In 1969, when Black Americans were still prevented from swimming alongside whites, Mr. Rogers decided to invite Officer Clemens to join him and cool his feet in a pool, breaking a well-known color barrier. Charles Thompson greets his new classmates at public school No. 27 in September 1954, less than 4 months after the Supreme Court ruled that racial segregation was unconstitutional. Charles was the only African American child in the school. Photo by Richard Stacks for the Baltimore Sun. Princess Diana shakes hands with an AIDS patient without gloves, 1991. A policeman in San Francisco scolds a man for not wearing a mask during the 1918 influenza pandemic, 1918. Statue of David by Michelangelo, encased in bricks to prevent damage from bombs during World War II. Jewish prisoners after being liberated from a death train, 1945. Members of Dutch resistance celebrate the news of Adolf Hitler's death, April 1945. A man arrested for cross-dressing emerging from a police van, New York, 1939. A Serbian soldier sleeps with his father who came to visit him on the front line near Belgrade, 1914–1915. Louis Armstrong playing for his wife, Egypt, 1961. Margaret Hamilton and the handwritten navigation software she and her MIT team produced for the Apollo project, 1969. Young Queen Elizabeth as a mechanic during WW2, c. 1939. And Frank's father Otto, revisiting the attic where they hid from the Nazis. He was the only surviving family member, 1960. An American soldier cradles a wounded Japanese boy and shelters him from the rain in the cockpit of an airplane during the Battle of Saipan while waiting to transport the youngster to a field hospital. July, 1944. A man rides a bus in Durban, meant for white passengers only, in resistance to South Africa's apartheid policies, 1986. At 4:31 a.m., an unauthorized photo taken of Stalin inside of the Kremlin shows the very moment he was informed that Germany had begun their invasion of the Soviet Union. It was taken by Komsomolskaya Pravda, editor-in-chief. He was ordered to destroy it, but instead saved it. June 22, 1941. Ruby Bridges, the first African American to attend a white elementary school in the Deep South, 1960. Freddie Mercury with his mother, 1947. "7 feet 3 inches, 221 centimeters, Jacob Nacken, the tallest Nazi soldier ever chatting with 5 feet 3 inches, 160 centimeters, Canadian Corporal Bob Roberts after surrendering to him near Calais, France in September of 1944. When Nazis asked Lepa Radique who were her accomplices before they hanged her, she responded, You'll know them when they come to avenge me. Young Serbian girl was hanged at the age of 17 near Gradiška in 1943. During the Battle of Kozara, she lost her father, brother, 15, and her uncle. Albert Einstein, his secretary Helen, left, and daughter Margaret, right, becoming U.S. citizens to avoid returning to Nazi Germany, 1940. Mobsters hide their faces at Al Capone's trial, 1931. A German soldier returns home only to find his family no longer there. Frankfurt, 1946. The drunk basket. In the 1960s, bars in Istanbul would hire someone to carry drunk people back to their homes. May 20, 1910. The 9 kings of Europe photographed together for the first and only time. Soldiers returning home from World War II, 1945. David Isom, 19, broke the color line in a segregated pool in Florida on June 8, 1958, which resulted in officials closing the facility. Russian inmate points an identifying and accusing finger at a Nazi guard who was especially cruel towards the prisoners in Buchenwald camp. A hired reader reads to cigar makers hard at work in Cuban cigar factory, ca. 1900 to 1910. Because many cigar factory employees were illiterate, lectors were hired to read novels, poetry, non-fiction works, and newspapers determined by consensus.